Y'all know the name, y'all know the deal, your boy No Showdown. Today I'll talk about why anime games continuously fail no matter what. In this video, I'm gonna constantly bring up stuff like Budokai Tenkaichi, Raging Blast, the Naruto Storm games, because those are examples of good games that have everything the fans want. So my first point about these bad anime games is that they put all of their focus into one feature. You have Jump Force and My Hero games, which all focus on the aesthetic itself. The My Hero games go for this comic book style where they're just trying to blast you with colors non-stop like it's made for infants, when in reality these are like grown 40-year-old men playing these games. I get why they're doing it, because My Hero is supposed to be like this superhero type thing. Colors, you know, the Superman, red and blue, Green Lantern green, Aquaman yellow, you feel me? It's supposed to be like this Power Ranger type junk. But that's all the My Hero games really focus on, is that arcade style with like flashy moves and stuff like that. But outside of that, the game is almost unplayable. And Jump Force does the opposite of My Hero, where they go for like this realistic kind of look, where they got like I'm not explaining like the maps and stuff like that. You will see pictures of it pop up on the screen, and I'm a fan of it, but that's all they really go for, is them like hype moments when everything else in the game is just trash and unplayable. You have games like Burning Blood and Dragon Ball FighterZ, which only focus on the competitive side of things. There's nothing wrong with making a competitive game, but when the game is hyped up to be like this amazing game with all these fun features and all this and that, one in reality is just a bunch of spam combos, blocking, yada yada yada. Nobody wants that. We want more fun. That's gonna tie into my second point, which I'm gonna get to later. Then you have One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, which only really focus on the story. And I'm not saying any of these features are bad things, but when you give us these amazing features surrounded by a dog pile game, it just kills the vibe. If they could have gave us the amazing story mode that Pirate Warriors 4 had, even with the like horde battles and stuff like that, but then also gave us the one-on-one aspect of like versus battles, like once you get to the bosses, it feels like a real fighting game, that could have been like a Budokai Tenkaichi level game. They really had everything that a great One Piece game would have, but they just dished it out to all these other games. You can even bring up whatever the game is called. It's forgettable because yet again, it's a game that focuses on one feature, when in reality, all these features together would make one of the best anime games. Tying in with some of the stuff I said before, my second point is that these games are becoming too competitive. When a game is made to be more competitive than fun, they start taking out all the features, or at least dampening them to the point where people can't use them, and we're just left with the boring fighting game style. Dragon Ball FighterZ, for example. Dragon Ball games in the past are known for like its amazing roster, but then you have Fighters with its measly, what, 15 something characters? They claim they did this to make every character unique with its own fighting style, but that's just wrong, because there's a ton of anime games with unique characters that have way bigger rosters. Then you have things like giant transformation, beam struggles, fusion, the fist clashes, whatever you call them. Like all these other fun features that made the game fun are just gone. And when you take out all the stuff that put Dragon Ball games on this high pedestal, it just becomes a knockoff Mortal Kombat game. You have the My Hero games and Burning Blood, where it seems like, again, Mortal Kombat type games, where they give you like these long list of combos and stuff that you can do if you press a crazy amount of buttons and stuff like that, where it's not a normal player is not just going to get that while playing for fun. Again, it's made for competitive players who are trying to learn the game, who are trying to play this on like a higher skill level than anybody else. Do you got Xenoverse 2, where if you get online and you're not an expert, you're pretty much just going to get your stamina broken anytime you try to do a move, and that's the entire fight. I've had Xenoverse 2 since pre-release, and that's been the case since day one. No matter what specific mode you're playing online, 90% of the times you're going to run into somebody who will stamina break you no matter what. That's going to be the entire fight, and there will never be a time where you're actually just having fun online. It's not even just the players being toxic. Even the CPU on like story mode and parallel quest will do the same thing. Like if you try to use a move, if you try to block something like that, they will stamina break you. This is why I wish things like Beam Clashes was in the game still, because instead of doing that toxic stamina breaking bull, people will try to push back your move and it will do like twice the damage. That is way more fun and a better concept than just flying behind somebody and punching them. Those are my main 2 points, the games being one-trick ponies and the too competitive side of things, but there are still minor points that I have that doesn't apply to the majority of some anime games. So number 3, a lackluster story mode. There's really 2 routes that they can go with a story mode in an anime game, and that's either using the anime story mode or making an original story mode. Normally they choose the anime story mode, which I'm cool with, but they would only put like a single arc in the game. Burning Blood did Marineford, which is probably the worst arc to make the mainline story around. There is no Sabaody or Impel Down. It's specifically the Marineford War, so there's no moving around or anything like that. It's just a whole bunch of battles. Even though it's one of my favorite arcs of One Piece, playing Jinbei's perspective of the Marineford War is not really fun to me. Stormford is another one where they gave you like a war story mode. And it's not even a full war, it's like the back end of the war with the Kaguya stuff and with the Naruto and Sasuke fight. I still enjoy Storm 4 and it's like top 5 anime games for me, but I still wanted to enjoy like Naruto Part 1 story mode with this updated new graphics and stuff like that. Then with an original story, not many anime games tried this. I mean, Jump Force obviously did. Xenoverse, I think Storm Revolution was one, and it's a bunch of other crappy games with it. Every single one of those games ultimately flopped except for the Naruto one and the Xenoverse one. The story mode for those games was just lazy, and that's really it. I've seen fan fictions do way better than them. Like, I just don't get how they can fail at something that's so easy. You can create whatever you want, and all you have to do is use the tools you already have, which is already popular characters. You don't have to do anything other than just... But anyways, even Xenoverse being like one of the most loved original story games, even that like was kind of trash because all it was some dude going through time, spewing his purple whatever on people, making them even stronger and eviler, bringing movie characters into... It was stupid. It would have worked way better if they took Fu out of it and did it like a completely like an alternate timeline without any intervention between him, like just merge the movies with the mainline story. Like, it would have worked better. It's just Fu is such a corny loser. It's just like... Anyways, point number 4 being my last point, and that's too much DLC. If you know me, you know that I pretty much hate DLCs because 9 times out of 10, it's a character or something like that that could have been in the base game, but no, they wanted to make some extra cheese off of it with their already $60 game. You have Xenoverse 2 DLCs, which in total cost over $100. You have Pyro Warriors and My Hero DLCs, which is like $30, you know, extra bull and bull and bull. DLCs was purely Tournament of Power and Broly movie, you know, stuff that wasn't out when the original game released. Okay, I'm cool with it. But half the DLCs is characters that we got in previous games for free. Then you just have Jump Force DLCs, which is sad. Like, how y'all gonna sell Madara as a DLC but keep Boa Hancock as a main, like, in-game character? How y'all gonna sell Fat Boo over Kid Boo or even Super Boo? Gave us Goku without Ultra Ego, pretty much making him the same exact character as Cell and Vegeta. They gave us Grimmjow but left out Ulquiorra. They gave us Toshiro but left out Kenpachi. They gave us JoJo's Bizarre Adventure but didn't give us Full Metal Alchemist. They gave us Biscuit as a DLC. That's all I really got to say about this video. It's just me being somebody who loves anime and somebody who wants to develop games and stuff like that in the future, and watching these games fail where I feel like I could succeed. It's just like... put me in that room. Put me in that room. I won't fold. Put me... Alright, I'm done.